3 signs that you are about to change levels. Changing levels can be a mix of two things. Both joy and sadness. Elation and hurt. It is not always pleasant when changing levels. You will be tempted to groan in uncertainty. It is new waters. But you must learn to hold on to faith and swim. And to that note, we will be looking at 3 signs that you are about to change levels. 1. There is a shift in mindset. The way you think and speak and react to things changes. Where you would normally panic when faced with a negative situation, you are calmer and more sensitive to things. A visible maturity is always a sign that a person is ready for higher things, for the next level. This affects all parts of your life. Spiritually, emotionally, financially, and otherwise. In your faith, when you pass tests and trials and emerge victorious, you move on to the next level of what God wants you learning. 2. When afflictions seem to multiply 1,000 times. It is often said that the darkest moment is just before dawn. It is a theory that applies in life as well. It seems the bleakest just before a breakthrough. For Job, it was a little awful because he had tasted the good side of life. God had been gracious to him. He knew and understood what it meant to have riches in wealth, children, animals, servants, you name it. And then, in the blink of an eye, everything was taken away from him. A fall from grace to grass, we could be tempted to call it. I, for one, would really like to understand what was going on in his mind all through these transitions. It could not have been easy. At the heart of it, he was human and so felt all the raw and ugly emotions. Even, his wife said to him, "Are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die." Job 2 verse 9, NIV. But Job kept faith. He knew that the devil could only try but had no real power over him. He knew that what he was going through was only a test that would pass in time. He knew and believed this, and it was what came to pass for him. He got blessed again, so much more than he lost. It is how the blessings of God happen. To many people just coming on the scene and hearing of, or seeing him in all of his riches, they would call him a lucky man without knowing the backstory. Job himself, though, would look and see a man helped by God. Job would understand it best. He would tell the story from within, making mention of possible temptations to indeed curse God and die. Another character in the Bible, who suffered the phase of affliction before a change occurred, was Joseph. Joseph the dreamer, we fondly know him as. From a very young age, Joseph was blessed by God. He was given the gift of dreams through which God spoke to him concerning his destiny and that of a whole nation. This earned him hate and jealousy from his brothers. Of course, the fact that he was the favorite child of his father did not help matters. And one thing Joseph genuinely had for his brothers was love. He was happy to share everything that went on in his life with them, from his dreams to the gift his father gave to him. These only earned him further hate from his brothers. The devil took this chance to propel them into doing evil to their brother. Joseph found himself sold into slavery, and as though that wasn't enough, lies were told against him and he was sent into prison. These are more than enough to make a man give up on life, to run mad or go depressed. But Joseph did not lose it. Even in a strange land where no one knew him, he kept his faith and bore witness as it lifted him out of dark places to the place God was preparing for him. 3. You will have no clue as to what comes next. For this bit, it is the story of Abraham that resounds again and again with me. Abraham was someone who was well-to-do. Then out of the blues there is God saying to him, to leave the place he has always known to be home, and go off to a place I will show you. Gen. 13 verse 1. God gave directions. It was up to the man to obey. You must remember that it wasn't defined. A place I will show you seemed very vague. So what next? What happened if this place wasn't likable? In such moments, fear would seep in. Uncertainty. It would seem normal to ask oneself if it is indeed the voice of God being heard. But then, as always, faith prevails. At least it did for Abraham, and it should for you too. He got up and with his family left the place he had always known to be home, putting all of his faith in a God he had never set eyes on. The book of Hebrews remembers he and a host of others as heroes of faith. You will see it said in the scriptures that Abraham believed and it was credited to him as righteousness. Gen. 15 verse 6. I should mention here that sometimes the way you look at things are completely different from what God has in mind and in store for you. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. Isaiah 55 verse 8 NIV. What you could be imagining as a change in level could be that you get a promotion at your place of work, a new car, a child, etc. While this is the case sometimes, it differs too. For God, your next level could be God taking you to a position where people would listen and look up to you, hoping for impact. It could simply be learning to show love to others outside of yourself. It could be accepting love, both the lover and the gift, after years of building up a stone wall. That is indeed a change of levels. It could be anything really. It is just important that you do not tie the Christian race and your happiness to material things only. God gives us people and the ability to relate with them. In changing levels this way, it is not always pleasant. You do not get to see the full picture as you are present in the frame. So you must learn to do the only thing which you can do in such moments. You place your trust in the one who has full visuals. The one who can see not just the beginning but the present and the future too. I would end with the words of Elizabeth Lang Thompson. She says, "When God says, go, we must face our fears, our excuses and ourselves. It's time to go wherever He leads. Be like the servant who answers, 'Here I am. Send me.' And you will see God use you and take you through greater heights. Stay believing and bask in this life He provides."